I, 27F, found out my fiancé, 29M, has a secret child. With my mom. Yeah, you read that right. My fiancé has a child. With my mother. And I found out less than 2 weeks before our wedding. I still feel like I'm living in someone else's nightmare. For context, I, 27F, have been with my fiancé, Liam, 29M, for 5 years. We met at a friend's engagement party, and I swear it was one of those movie moments. Instant chemistry, long conversations, laughter that made my face hurt. He was stable, kind, and made me feel like the safest person in the world. After years of dating toxic people, he was my finally. We got engaged last year. Everything was perfect, or at least it seems like it. Now I can't even look at him without feeling sick. My mom, Sandra A, 48F, is one of those women who never really aged out of her 20s. She loves attention, especially from men. When I was a teenager, I noticed how she'd flirt with my boyfriends, laugh too hard at their jokes, and wear low-cut tops whenever they were around. I always told myself she was just like that, the fun, playful mom. God, how blind I was. Anyway, my mom and I had a complicated relationship. She was never cruel, but she was competitive with me about everything. Clothes, looks, even my career. Still, when Liam and I got engaged, she acted so happy for me. She offered to help with the wedding, came to fittings, gave motherly advice, all that stuff. It wasn't until about a month ago that little things started to feel off. I noticed that whenever we were all together, me, Liam, and Mom, they'd exchange these weird, loaded glances, like there was some private joke between them. I brushed it off, thinking I was paranoid or stressed from wedding planning. Then one night, I woke up around 2 a.m. and saw Liam wasn't in bed. His phone was on the nightstand, but he was gone. I found him sitting in his car in the driveway, talking on the phone. When I asked who he was talking to, he said it was his brother. Something about the way he said it, I just knew he was lying. The next morning, I checked his phone. I know, it's not something I'm proud of, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. There were no texts from his brother. In fact, there were deleted messages, lots of them. I used a recovery app, yeah, I know, crazy, and found messages that made my blood run cold. They weren't from another woman. They were from my mom. And not innocent messages either. They were flirty, intimate, familiar. Stuff like, you promised you'd tell her after the wedding. He looks so much like you. Don't make me be the bad guy again. I remember my hands shaking so hard I could barely hold the phone. When I confronted Liam, he froze. His face went pale. Then he said, "It's not what you think." Classic line. I said, "Then what is it, Liam? Why are you texting my mother like that?" He just sat there, silent. Then whispered, "Please sit down. I need to explain something." That something was that 5 years ago, right before we started dating, he had a one-night stand with the woman he met at a bar. She never told him her name, and he never saw her again. Until about a year later, when he met me. Apparently, it wasn't until a few months after we got engaged that my mom reached out to him privately, revealing that she was the woman from that night, and that she had gotten pregnant with his child. She told him the boy, my half-brother, was 4 years old now, and yes, Liam had been secretly meeting them, secretly sending money, secretly living a double life as my fiancé and my mother's co-parent. I felt like the air had been sucked out of my lungs. I couldn't even scream. He said he didn't tell me because he didn't want to lose me. He cried, said he was trapped, that he never meant for this to happen. My mom called me that day, sobbing. She said she didn't know it was him until she saw his photo on my engagement announcement. Then she panicked, but instead of telling me the truth, she thought it was better to just keep it a secret. Better. They both agreed to keep it quiet until after the wedding, and then they'd figure out how to tell me. They literally planned to let me marry him before dropping that nuclear bomb. I screamed at both of them. My mom had the nerve to say, "Sweetheart, you can still have a future with him. The past doesn't have to matter." Like she hadn't just detonated my entire life. I packed a bag that night and left. I've been staying at my friend's apartment since. My phone keeps lighting up with messages from both of them. Apologies, excuses. "We can explain. We didn't mean to hurt you. We just didn't know how to tell you." The wedding venue called yesterday, asking to confirm our final payment. I told them to cancel it. You'd think that would be the end of it, but here's the kicker. My mom still wants me to attend my half-brother's birthday party next month. She says he deserves to know his sister. I don't even know who I am anymore. My fiancé is the father of my brother. My mother is the mother of my fiancé's child, and I was almost the stepmom to my own sibling. It's like some sick soap opera, except it's my life. Everyone I've told, my best friend, my aunt, even my therapist, says I need to cut contact with both of them. And I'm trying. But part of me keeps wondering, how do you even begin to move on from something like this? I haven't spoken to Liam or my mom in 3 weeks. Yesterday, I got an email from Liam. The subject line just said, "Please read." Inside was a photo of the little boy. He looks exactly like Liam, and a little like me, too. That's when I realized something terrifying. He's only 5 years old, which means the one-night stand happened after Liam and I had already started dating. He lied about everything. Now I'm not just heartbroken, I'm furious. Because for 5 years, I built a life around someone who was cheating on me with my own mother. I don't know what comes next, but I do know this. If anyone ever makes you feel like something is off, trust that feeling, because the truth always finds a way out, no matter how deep they try to bury it. Thank you for listening. I honestly don't know how I'm supposed to recover from this, but if you want to hear how this story ends or hear more real, insane stories like this one, make sure to subscribe, because the next one I'm sharing, let's just say it makes this look tame.